The simulation chamber hummed with energy as Cadet Elena Vasquez, barely 19 Terran years old, stood before the holographic display. Around her, senior cadets from a dozen different species shifted nervously, their various appendages, tentacles, and extremities betraying their unease. The Zentorian with crystalline skin structures clicked anxiously, while the gaseous Vorthax containment suit hissed with regulated breathing patterns. "Begin tactical assessment," announced Commander Thexvar, the Academy's most decorated, Catherian instructor. His 4 amber eyes focused intently on the youngest human in the room. "Unknown hostile fleet detected at the edge of Proxima system. Population, 4 billion sentients across 3 colonies. Your response, Cadet Vasquez?" Elena stepped forward, her small frame dwarfed by the towering aliens around her. At barely 5 feet tall, she looked like a child among the imposing figures of her classmates. The Drakmori to her left stood nearly 8 feet tall with armored carapaces that had evolved over millennia of warfare. The Geleth possessed natural energy manipulation abilities that could theoretically level cities. Yet when Elena began to speak, the chamber fell silent. "Sir, requesting detailed scan of hostile fleet composition, energy signatures, and vector analysis." Her voice carried a calm authority that seemed impossible for someone so young. The hologram shifted, revealing the enemy formation. 37 vessels of unknown configuration, approaching in a perfect geometric pattern that suggested advanced tactical coordination. Elena studied the display for exactly 47 seconds. Then she turned to face her fellow cadets. "Corvin," she addressed the Zentorian, "you mentioned in xenobiology that your people's crystal resonance can interfere with most known FTL communication systems. How precise is that interference?" The crystal-skinned alien straightened, surprised to be consulted. "Within a range of approximately 2 light minutes, our natural harmonics can create significant disruption to quantum entanglement networks. Perfect." Elena turned to the Vorthak. "Zephys, your species processes atmospheric data instantaneously. Could you calculate optimal dispersal patterns for a gas giant's atmospheric disturbance?" The gaseous being's translator crackled. "Certainly, but I fail to see the tactical relevance." "Trust me." Elena's interruption wasn't rude, but it carried an unmistakable confidence. She moved to the display controls, her fingers dancing across the interface with practiced precision. "Miktar," she called to the towering Drakmori, "your people's natural armor. It's designed to withstand extreme pressure differentials, correct? Our exoskeletons can survive in the void of space, or the crushing depths of gas giant atmospheres," Miktar rumbled proudly. Elena nodded, already 3 steps ahead. "Commander Thexvar requesting permission to implement unconventional tactics?" The Catherian's eyes narrowed with interest. In his 2 centuries of military service, he had seen countless strategies, but something about the human's approach intrigued him. "Proceed, Cadet." What happened next would be analyzed in military academies across the galaxy for generations. Elena's plan was audacious in its simplicity and terrifying in its effectiveness. She proposed using the gas giant in the Proxima system not as an obstacle, but as a weapon. While the enemy fleet maintained their precise formation, clearly the product of advanced AI tactical systems, Elena had identified their fatal flaw. They were thinking like machines. "The enemy formation is perfect," she explained, manipulating the hologram to show probability cascades and atmospheric dynamics. "Too perfect. They're optimizing for efficiency and mathematical precision. But humans don't fight mathematically. We fight chaotically." Her strategy required Corvin to position himself within the gas giant's upper atmosphere, using his crystalline resonance to disrupt the enemy's communication network at the precise moment they entered the system's gravitational well. Zephys would calculate the exact atmospheric disturbance needed to create a massive storm system that would appear natural, but actually channel the enemy fleet into a predetermined corridor. Meanwhile, Miktar and 2 other pressure-resistant species would hide within the atmospheric disturbance itself, becoming living torpedoes launched by the planet's own gravitational forces. "But how do we coordinate without FTL communication ourselves?" asked the Yeleth cadet, her energy form flickering with confusion. Elena smiled, the first time she had done so during the entire exercise. We don't. Each team acts independently based on timing and environmental cues. The enemy will try to calculate our response, but you can't calculate chaos. That's the human advantage. We don't just adapt to the unexpected, we create it. The simulation ran its course. Elena's multi-species team executed a strategy that defied conventional military doctrine. They turned a gas giant into a siege engine, used atmospheric chaos as a tactical advantage, and transformed their diverse alien abilities into an interconnected weapon that no AI could predict. The enemy fleet, designed to counter known military formations and strategies, found itself trapped in a gravitational maze of Elena's design, their perfect coordination becoming a liability as atmospheric disturbances prevented regrouping and crystalline interference left them blind to each other's positions. When the simulation ended, the chamber remained silent for a full minute. Commander Thexvar's 4 eyes studied the aftermath display. The enemy fleet had been completely neutralized without a single shot fired in space. Instead, Elena had weaponized physics itself, turning the very environment into an ally. Cadet Vasquez, the commander finally spoke, explain your tactical philosophy. Elena looked around at her classmates, aliens who possessed natural abilities far beyond human capabilities, who came from civilizations with millions of years of military history. Then she looked back at her instructor. Sir, humans learned warfare on a planet that was actively trying to kill us. We didn't evolve natural armor or energy manipulation or crystalline resonance. We evolved adaptation. When you can't overpower the environment, you learn to dance with it. When you can't outthink the enemy, you outweird them. She gestured to her fellow cadets. Every species here has incredible natural advantages. My job isn't to replace those advantages. It's to combine them in ways that no enemy, no matter how advanced, would ever expect. As the cadets filed out of the simulation chamber, something remarkable happened. Corvin approached Elena first, followed by Zephys, then Miktar, and finally the others. One by one, these beings, some from warrior cultures spanning millennia, others possessing abilities that bordered on the mystical, each asked the same question: what should we study next? Elena Vasquez was indeed the youngest cadet in the academy, but in a galaxy full of species that had perfected warfare, only humans had perfected the art of making war itself dance to their rhythm, and everyone, even the veterans, was eager to learn the steps.